the comeback is now. Blood, sweat, and tears. Fight for what we want. Doesn't matter the cost. Every day, put in work. Blood, sweat, and tears. Nothing comes overnight. Strength in numbers, start to lie. We don't bow to fear. Blood, sweat, and tears. Blood, sweat, and tears. Blood, sweat, and tears. Blood, sweat, and tears. Fight for what we want. Doesn't matter the cost. Every day, put in work. Nothing comes overnight. Strength in numbers, start to lie. We don't bow to fear. Blood, sweat, and tears.
I feel it deep flowing through my blood. Rising up to become someone, and taking it all on my own. What a sweet victory. And taking all of my control, awaken something deep in me.
Like flames, feel it burning inside. Take a hold in pursuit of the prize. I've been told ain't no way to survive, keeping all of this fire that's locked up inside. When this is the time, enter the ring. All those mental chemicals doing their thing. I got flashes of battles inside of my dreams. I was made for this moment. At least now it seems like it's time to come face to face with your fear. Been battling reasons for all of the years, and I learned how to fight them with style and grace no one's ever encountered. You say it's amazing, I'ma come out swinging when they open the gate. Go ahead, call passion, I'm calling it rage. I'm taking what's mine like I already own it. Watch but don't blink, going here to the moment.
The sky rained down. Here's to the madness that's all around. Go on, tell them who you are, you are, you are. Go on, tell them who you are, you are, you are, you are. Here's to the moment, the sky rained down. Here's to the madness that's all around. Go on, tell them who you are, you are, you are. Go on, tell them who you are, you are, you are, you are.
My name is honor, my name is king, my name is champion, my name is strength.
Tell them who you are.
My name is Pentakill, you think it's strange? My name keep ringing inside of your brain.
I hear it every night. It's to the
the moment the sky rained down. Here's to the madness that's all around. So tell them who you are, you are, you are. Go on, tell them who you are, you are, you are. Here's to the moment the sky rained down. Here's to the madness that's all around. Go on, tell them who you are, you are, you are. Go on, tell them who you are, you are, you are, you are. Here's to the moment the sky rained down. Here's to the madness that's all around. Go on, tell them who you are, you are, you are. Go on, tell them who you are, you are, you are. Go on, tell them who you are, you are, you are.
You've walked through the darkest nights. You've heard the crowd, felt the blinding light. You were standing there where your heart comes alive. It's a dream of ahead, and it never dies. Right here, right now, give it all to get it out. Never a surrender. I fight and never fail. I am a contender. A challenge I can feel. The smallest lies become the brightest enemies relentlessly. And even if you fall, you gave it everything to be a king. The smallest lies become the brightest enemies relentlessly. And even if you fall, you gave it everything to be a king. You carved your way with a sharp attack. You watched it all burn, and you never looked back. There will come a day when your fears will rise. You protect your crown, so it never dies. Never a surrender. I fight and never fail. I am a contender. A challenge I can feel. The smallest lies become the brightest enemies relentlessly. And even if you fall, you gave it everything to be a king. On my way, on my way. Find my way, find my way. On my way, on my way. Dream my way, dream my way. Never a surrender. I fight and never fail. I'm a contender. And challenge I can feel. The smallest lies become the brightest enemies relentlessly. And even if you fall, you gave it everything to be a king. The small
mercy. Look at me, I'll be rising. Carry the season. You got a damn, gonna weapon. You never hesitate for another moment. But my bones golden.
I'm invincible, just let him know. I can show you all the glory I own. Through the jungle, find a way to the palace. I'm waiting here. Go, live and rock and we go. It ain't a river, turning back. The storm is coming, light up your cold. It's my kingdom, fire, blow it up.
We the kings, it's our honor, showtime.
We bound if I face one, crashing pieces, YikeZGG.
First blood, double trouble, then I take a pen, I kill. All you do is sweat and look at me stay with the rain.
Say.
I've taken my soul down.
On my pace.
We the champions, turning, I'm invincible. Just let them know. I can show you all the glory I own. Through the jungle, find a way to the palace. I'm waiting here. Go, live and rock and we go. It ain't a river, turning back. The storm is coming, light up your cold. It's my kingdom, fire, blow it up.
We the kings, it's our honor, showtime.
In this world, only ones in this world, only ones in this world. Call out my name, cut through the sound of the rain. No matter how I feed the flame, you know I feel the darkness and the pain. All of the ways we tried to break free from the night. We made it out, we found the light. I fly so high, light up the skyline. Let's do it this time, like it's a whole new vibrant world. Like we're the only ones in this world. Like we're the only ones in this world.
Now I see that I got everything I need. It's alright, I'm on fire, I'm alive, 'cause now I fly so high, light up the skyline. Let's do it this time, like it's a whole new colorful world.
Like we're the only ones in this world. Like we're the only ones in this world.
Never thought we'd get this far, burning like the stars. How we get this far, like we're the only ones in this world.
inside. When you let fear decide your fate, you don't choose which path to take alive. In life, I'm finally letting go of everything that last to hold me. I'm against the odds, but I won't give up, 'cause it's my time to shine. Standing in the starlight, can't no one let me down.
In Hero's Gorge, the base is the spring of life. In the real world, every forest and plant is the Earth's spring of life. The base nourishes the gorge, just as Earth's ecosystems sustain all life. If the base is exhausted, heroes will lose their home. If ecosystems are destroyed, all life loses their habitat. Honor of Kings is working with players worldwide to support real-world environmental causes and protect our planet's future. By participating in Protect Nature, Protect All Life, all efforts in the event will contribute to real-world causes, protect the environment, and let us defend the honor of our planet together.
Excuse me.
Hugging stings. Victory!
Yes, yeah.
another round?
Sure, but how about a smoother phone next time?
Realme 14. Performance beyond limits.
Welcome to the Honor of Kings Major East League Spring and Major West League Spring 2025. Two independent tournaments, each featuring 7 top teams from rising powerhouse regions across the globe. Major East features teams from South Korea, Japan, Middle East and North Africa, and South Asia. Major West brings together talents from North America, Latin America, Europe, and Turkey. Each league has a $50,000 prize pool and a clear goal to qualify for the Honor of Kings World Cup KWC. The majors will be split into 4 phases: Ranking Week, Survival Week, Knockout Stage, and Major Last Call. Running from April 17th to May 4th, each phase will become more challenging than the previous, ensuring teams to be on their best forms at all times. The global ban and pick format is in effect from the start, limiting repeated hero picks across the series. Both leagues begin with Ranking Week, a single round-robin best-of-3 format. While it is less punishing in a best-of-3, teams still need smart drafts and broad prep from day one. At the end of Ranking Week, the top 3 teams move to Group S, while the bottom 4 head to Group A for Survival Week. Unlike traditional slow-paced formats, this Week 1 is anything but forgiving. Every match counts. Survival Week ups the ante with double round-robin best-of-5 matches. Here, the global ban and pick rule really kicks in, and teams are put to the test. Hero pool depth, draft strategy, and flexibility becomes essential. There's no hiding behind comfort picks. Only teams that can adapt will survive. In Group A, it's a ruthless fight. Only one team advances, while the rest are eliminated. One stumble could mean missing the knockouts entirely. It's fast, high stakes, and decisive. In Group S, the top 2 reach the upper bracket, while third place drops into the lower brackets of knockouts. The final stretch is the knockout stage, featuring a double elimination best-of-5 bracket. Each league's champion qualifies directly to KWC, meanwhile runner-ups get one last chance in the major last call, a final best-of-5 to secure their World Cup slot. This format rewards consistency, creativity, and composure under pressure. Catch every moment live on our official channels. Every game is a chance to prove your region's strength and your team's readiness for the global stage. The path to honor starts now.
We're no strangers to the fallout. It's what got us here. Ever changing, some chameleon. Blood, sweat, and tears. We'll never make it if we fall to everything that brings us down. With a comeback is now. Blood, sweat, and tears. Fight for what we want. Doesn't matter the cost. Every day, put in work. Blood, sweat, and tears. Nothing comes overnight. Strength in numbers start to line. We don't bow to fear. Blood, sweat, and tears. Blood, sweat, and tears. Blood, sweat, and tears. The crowd. Oh no, we don't bow to fear. Blood, sweat, and tears. Fight for what we want. Doesn't matter the cost. Every day, put in work. Nothing comes overnight. Strength in numbers starts to line. We don't bow to fear.
Become a pro player? How hard is that to take another path? Can you walk this path?
Je me suis déjà posé la même question.
Posso percorrere questa strada?
Il l'appelle. le chemin et le champ de bataille vers le plus grand honneur.
Posso arrivare.
Je ne suis encore personne.
Posso lasciare il mio nome. Inizia a salire su questo palco.
But the moment I tapped my first skill button, the moment I stepped onto the stage, I was no longer nobody. Our names began to shine. In facing the tension of adversity, in facing the frustration of defeat, in facing the uncertainty of the unknown, nothing can block the path I choose. With the light of victory, we pierce through the thorns. The path to honor is here. Beneath our feet. Light up. When our footsteps awaken the dawn of the gorge, to walk this path is to walk toward honor.
To the Honor of Kings 2025 World Cup last call as we find out who will qualify for the KWC. It'll be between two of the second place teams of the KME and KM West. It will be Gen.G Esports going up against OG in the single best of 5 series. My name is Holler, and with me is the man, the myth, the legend, Phil. What are your thoughts on this series here?
While most people think the ending of the knockout stage is the pinnacle for each series, I think this is a true pinnacle. We have East versus West here, runner-ups from both sides. We here in the West sent our secret weapons here, OG, to take on Gen.G here. Very excited. Look at the graphics too, amazing. We finally got the blue and red mix here on the stream.
I love it. I love it. It really set it up. I mean, this is going to be the perfect time. And of course, this is going to be that matchup. Gen.G Esports representing the red side, the East side, the best side, dare I say. And of course, the other side is going to be OG. You talked about them being the number one challenger going into this one, but dropping it in to the last call. Your thoughts on that, Yumis?
OG has only had one loss, and unfortunately, it is when it mattered most. But up until then, they were flawless. So they are our secret weapons here in the West, right? One thing that may give Gen.G a chance here, usually they wouldn't have a chance, is they just played their last series like 3-4 hours ago. They might be a little bit tired. So maybe it's going to be a little bit closer than it usually is supposed to be here. But I'm still rooting for OG, of course.
Of course. And I mean, like, look, the joking between the two sides has been ongoing, and we were always talking about the East side being the best side. But going into this one, I'm actually a little bit worried because OG has just been this titan, and losing that one time was a surprise for all of us. But let's check out the first team, and it will be, of course, the representative from the East side, Gen.G Esports here.
Let's go! The battle's calling. You better give it all you got. You gotta fight for it. The time is right for you to raise a rock, yeah. Cause you can be the greatest of them all, yeah. Let's go! The battle's calling. You better give it all you got. You gotta fight for it.
Gen.G Esports out of Morocco, getting second place, unfortunately. They are the game changers. It's going to be represented by Wawa, Ray, Inua, Clue, and of course, Rock, the game changer himself. It's going to be a 4-protect-1 strategy. That is the man. There's going to be a lot of targets going on to this one. But of course, what do Gen.G Esports bring to the table? They have a lot of non-conventional drafts, and they really change things up a bit.
Yeah, very excited to see how Gen.G goes and plays. Before this, you were telling me about Rock and how he's the star player of that team. I think OG has a lot of star players too, but it's interesting to see how both of them are gonna clash here, Gen.G and OG. And we were talking about how they're both kind of, momentum-driven teams, right? Whichever team gets a good footing in the series will go ahead and probably, have good momentum going in and close it out well. But yeah, now let's go ahead and check out OG representing the West.
Let's go! The battle's calling. You better give it all you got. You gotta fight for it. The time is right for you to raise a rock, yeah. Cause you can be the greatest of them all, yeah. Let's go! The battle's calling. You better give it all you got. You gotta fight for it.
OG Esports here, the boogeyman of the West. And with a huge upset, actually dropping down, losing their match versus Twisted Minds, Italy versus Italy here. But you know what? That's good for us in the West, because now we go ahead and send one of our strongest teams here versus Gen.G.
Yo, I almost want to say it's not even fair at this point. I mean, if we had Nomishim going up in this last call, it would have been very interesting to see how these two Titans were going into it. But seeing OG drop down, unfortunately for them, and have to play, what, 3 or 4 hours after they just lost that heartbreaking series against Twisted Minds, this is going to be a, dare I say, revenge tour for OG, and they're going to go all out against Gen.G Esports here.
Yeah, let's see if the pressure makes or breaks OG here. I mentioned prior that they're a little bit more emotional players. Maybe they're still not, you know, fully recovered after that upset, right, from Twisted Minds. They're definitely probably going to be tired. The last match was 3 to 4 hours ago. It's still the same day for them. Are they warmed up or are they cooled off? I don't know.
Yeah, but let's check out the head-to-head. This is going to be in, of course, the Clash lane. Wawa going up against KK. We're seeing the kill differential a little bit in favor of Wawa. He's definitely got those 98 kills to his name. Does quite a bit. The average gold, a bit of a wash in that sense, as well as the average team fight participation. But what we've seen from both of these guys is that they're there at the right time. When those team fights are happening, he ensures that he's there with that utility to kind of control the battlefield.
Yeah, I think OG stats are also a little bit skewed here when they all get added up, because they end the games so incredibly quickly. You know, they don't have time to get those kills, rack up as much farm and damage numbers here. So very impressive kills and damage coming out from Keke, even though they are predominantly ending games in 10-15 minutes.
Maybe they should have spent a little bit more time, and maybe that's why they wouldn't have lost against Twisted Minds in the finals.
Well, those are definitely some long matches, but unfortunately they did not get enough kills there, or else they wouldn't be here right now.
All jokes aside, obviously OG are ready to go, and there's a huge issue, right? They didn't really get a whole lot of the reps because they were just kind of stomping through the different teams, and they were just kind of like destroying them. So you don't really have that time to really just pad the stats, dare I say. But it looks like Gen.G are going to be going with the blue side. They're going to attack Dao to start off, especially with this Luna pick to start things off here.
Yeah, very interesting how both regions go ahead and draft. OG predominantly, and even in the West, you know, predominantly plays more of these early game centric compositions, not much worrying about scaling, trying to end out the games early. I think we're going to see a pretty standard Mai and Arlie ban from OG as they go ahead and feel out their opponents.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting because Gen.G generally, I mean, we're going to like maybe let go the Byron Pei or the Princess Frost Liang type of combinations that we've seen from OG. They've definitely excelled on those. I mean, seeing as that they picked second and third, they could potentially do that. Just kind of set the stage with one of these like big combos that they've kind of been running through the KM West. But Gen.G going into this one, they're going to have first pick. They want to go with their strong hand forward. They're going to go with this Ogren here.
Yep, pretty standard first pick here for Gen.G. They will leave open the Die idea here for OG to potentially pick up, as well as potentially getting one of those two-piece combos you mentioned. The Pei Byron here might get locked in as we see Keke hover Byron, or maybe the Princess Frost and Liang. No, Motsu Byron. Interesting second picks here.
Yeah, so it's funny because we were talking about this earlier, just about how well the Byron pick has been doing in the KM West. It has like a 67% win rate. It has been the #1 picked hero in the KM West. But on the east side, yes, it's a top 10 pick, but it's had an abysmal win rate. It's only won about 35% of the time. It has struggled quite a bit.
I think it definitely shows the difference of the regions and what they value in their draft and how they like playing. The West here tries to clean up these games a little bit earlier, so Byron is amazing at that, and they're more adapted to that, and they usually draft around them too. They don't just pick the Byron, they pick the Byron and Pei here, as we see when lock in Pei for Dao.
It's going to be going very fast. I mean, this is going to be their heavy, like, again, they're putting their best foot forward, OG here. They're looking to close out this game very quickly. OG definitely play on a timer. They want to just kind of end the game, kind of set the tone a bit by winning out game one very quickly. Pei Byron has been like a terrible combination for any enemy team to be going up against. It's been difficult. They really don't have a whole lot of answers for it thus far.
Yeah, OG has been known to be a team that can do everything kind of at once. They will invade your bot side, your top side, fight all over the map, and overwhelm you. And if you are not ready for that playstyle, you can definitely get run over here. But I think they're probably going to go ahead and save the Princess Frost Liang for next game. They usually only pick one combo per game here, and that's their drafting strategy going forward. As we see Gen.G pick Yixing and Charlotte. Tell me a little bit about those.
So, okay, Charlotte, I think it tends to be more of the fact that, like, Wawa's not amazing on the Charlotte. It's just more of, like, a value add of just kind of a little bit of a contribution. It's more saving his better heroes for later. They're looking for this as a long series. Yes, they picked the Ogryn, and they are definitely putting a big statement on trying to be very strong and heavy-footed, especially in this first game. But they're going to end out their draft, round it out with a Lady Soon Secure, a very somewhat standard draft too from Gen.G here.
Yeah, it looks like Gen.G, you know, they have the Ogryn, but outside of that, not too many, like, power picks here, you know? Pretty balanced. They took one of the strongest picks here, and then they go ahead and balance it out. It is global pick ban. Once a character is picked, it can no longer be played, so maybe balancing out their draft for the future.
Yeah. And to be honest, this is definitely not Gen.G's best draft. I mean, teams will see the Ogryn and think, they're going heavy-handed. They're going to definitely have their best foot forward. I mean, Inua is quite good on the Yixing, and that's a bit of a tell in that sense. But the other ones, even like the Lady Soon and the Charlotte, you're kind of been like, this is actually probably not their best game in terms of these meta picks. They're maybe looking to kind of look at this as more of like horse trading, especially in this first one.
Yeah, very interested to see them pick up the Charlotte over something like the Diadea. It's definitely a very high priority support or roam pick here in the West. And once OG got the opportunity, you see they go ahead and ban that character out.
Yeah, and again, I think it's more of like when you see two heavyweight fighters going at it, there's like a feeling out process. You know, they check their ranges, how are they actually attacking, what do they need to do, you know, and they're kind of just like a feel out process where not too many punches will be thrown. I think that this is one of those games where it really just sets the tone. Obviously, OG, on the other hand, if you're looking at that draft, you're thinking, no, they want to come out swinging.
Of course, OG is all about striking hard and striking fast. They're trying to get the momentum in the series, and they, you know, in matches where they win in the first match, they usually end it in a 3-0. And let's see if they can go ahead and do the same here versus Gen.G.
And it's funny that you were wearing the black suit. It almost seems like you're going to a funeral. Whose funeral will it be? We're going to have to find out. This is going to be the only match, the last call. It's going to be Gen.G Esports going up against OG. This is going to be game number 1 here.
All right, this thrilling season of the Major East Leagues is made possible with the support of EWC, helping bring top-tier competition to fans worldwide.
Yeah, and that's going to be where everyone wants to go. Of course, it's going to be the KWC. The winner of this one doesn't actually make money on this game alone, but they get into the KWC where there's a 3 million USD prize pool. They will be paid handsomely after that one, just qualifying for that. And there's a reason why everyone wants to be part of that Esports World Cup. But going into this one, we know the drafts, we know the players. Who has the edge going into game 1 here, Phil?
I think OG, as you mentioned here, they kind of put their best foot forward, whereas Gen.G still kind of feeling them out. I think they definitely have the advantage in the draft here in the game 1. Maybe Gen.G's holding their cards here for later drafts, and we'll see them do a little bit better later on. But if they can go ahead and beat OG here with their best foot forward, it's definitely going to really halter the momentum of OG.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing if they're able to do it. But of course, our players are geared up. The Realme 14 5G, built for performance, made for gaming, smooth, cool, and reliable, just the way esports demands. Ready to level up? Get yours now, and of course, feel the difference. But going into this one, you're seeing kind of how OG are playing. They're definitely trying to prioritize Dao as much farm as possible. Let the man kind of cook at the end of the day. On the other side, Gen.G, you're letting Rock get as much farm. He's all by himself in that mid lane, just absorbing everything. But it looks like they're going to get first blood in that top lane. Nice little rotation by Inua.
This is not looking good for OG. Keke either doesn't die or dies a lot. So the fact that he's already went down here for first blood does not spell the best fate for OG here. I'm kind of getting worried.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just first blood at the end of the day, but there's a lot of pressure already in the top lane, and KK has to make that walk of shame back to the top T1. He's going to be slow rolling there, but Ray taking a lot, looking to trade with An, who's kind of pushed them away. One thing that we need to take note of is the flash forward. They do find him out, they get Ray, and that's going to be a huge win for OG there.
Wen with a great roam onto the bot lane here. We didn't get a chance to mention in the draft, but Zuya coming out from Wen, not a character we've seen him play at all yet. This is the first time we've seen Wen pick Zuya here. Maybe he's has a secret weapon here that he's going to bust out against these East Leagues. They studied them up, and that will definitely round out OG's late game if they do end up going there, though.
It's all about the zoning. It's all about being able to kind of control them, right? I think when on the Zia is going to be an interesting pick. Nice little Cannon Blast onto Ray, just setting it up. You have a little bit more of the stuns, which, again, kind of works into Muchen's hands because he's so good with those Cannon Blasts.
For sure, fishing for those Cannon Blasts can easily convert the Zuya ultimate as well here. But I'm interested to see how they go ahead and play out these mid-game team fights. Are they going to try their best to stay outside of the box of Gen.G and fire into it? Or will they just take the fight to them, you know, and get trapped and not have to worry? Muchen looks like he fat-fingered ultimate there, as we see on the Motsu.
As somebody who's played Motsu, I've done that. Not at level 4, but I've
sure.
definitely miffed, and you're kind of like, nobody saw that, right? Let's just continue and move on with our lives. But again, a little bit of a misplay, not the worst thing in the world, especially since it's so early. He just hit level 4, but when is level 8? Something to take note of. He's on pace with Dao, who's been just moving around, taking as much farm across the map.
Yeah, Zia getting more XP than usual, and Dao keeping up in levels with him is very impressive. I wonder who he's going to go ahead and bless. This is the first time we're actually seeing Zia played here in the West, so very awesome. Wow, Dao takes him down.
Yeah, takes him down, didn't even give him a chance. The stun lock, the potential stun, like the control, the wombo combo that they have is real. And if they're able to slow down Rock, which is, again, a huge issue, he's like the win condition. You take him down, I mean, you're going to be pretty much gravy at the end of the day.
Yeah, Argon, one of those characters that can definitely carry on a star player like Rock as well. And see, OG is kind of walking away with the game here. 2,000 gold lead already in typical OG fashion. Rafa told me once that 1,000 gold is like 5,000 for OG, so they're up almost 10,000 gold now.
I mean, it pretty much makes sense at this point. I mean, they know what to do with that lead. They're able to kind of exert that map control, just push them back. Once they have that lead, it's difficult to kind of get anything going. And again, especially when you have a fast hero like the Pei, and Dao is an absolute maestro on this hero, you're just going to make it really, really difficult for Gen.G to get back in this game. But in the top lane, they got the Mulberry power. They find Keke. He's going to have to use that force field suppression. He doesn't want to fight. He actually flashes away. He's going to be chased by Clue, who tries to get the Mulberry power, knocks him up, does get the kill.
Great play from Clue there to put that skill 1 right on top. And Keke tried to dodge the best he can, but can't quite get away. Keke getting caught out a little bit here this game, not getting much attention from his team. Dao seems to be playing around Wen a little bit more here in the mid lane, whereas he usually, when he goes pay Brian, invests a lot into Keke, but not this game.
Yeah, not this game, but at the end of the day, the top T1 is still standing, so I guess that's, you know, a small win. If you're looking at what OG have done, I mean, look at this mid T1 from Gen.G. It's basically hanging on by, you know, a piece of string at this point. It's going to fall apart. The bottom T2 has already been taken out. They have a huge lane and opportunity to continue pushing, and OG with that lead, Clue looking to go in, gets the Mulberry power, and tries to go, but Muchen flashes away, and that should be the end of things.
It looks like they've done a little bit of a lane swap here too, as we see Byron in the bottom lane, and we have Chano here in Clash here to kind of pick up the pieces and protect that lane that's been kind of beaten and battered by Gen.G.
Yeah, and look at that. The top T1 is going to take some pressure here. They're going to look to continue that fight. Dao picks up the mid T1, but An gets picked up. The world is my board, and it looks like Muchen is in a bad spot. Probably needs to get away. He's going to try to get over the wall. He does, but Rock will chase him with that path of passing. The Conductor of Souls only onto 1, but he gets cannon blasted, and Clue goes down. He's stuck around right next to him, and both of them are so low, and it looks like Inua will be picked off as well. That's a 2-for-1.
These are the extended, messy fights that OG is so good at, you know, going into enemy jungle, creating this pressure, making them react, and playing so proactively. It looked kind of bad for OG, but it just shows their experience in these skirmishes there, you know. Even though they had the retreat, Dao was ready to come in and pick off Inua and Clue.
Yeah, and look at that, how OG are looking to be aggressive instantly. They're like, okay, we got the numbers advantage. We can go into your jungle, take everything away from you. Now, Gen.G right now, that lead is starting to get even more difficult to overcome. They're down about 5K at this stage, and it's only 7 minutes in the game.
Wow, like I don't look at the gold and it just like it gets away from you here. A second ago we were mentioning up 2K, now it's coming up on 4K here. This might be a very quick game.
Yeah, it's looking that way. I mean, OG right now just on the prowl. Muchen looking for the nice little cannon blast. He finds Rock because he knows he's going to be farming nearby. He does cannon blast him for his troubles, and now it looks like Gen.G looking to just kind of hold, slow the game down, let Rock get a little bit more farm, but he's fallen so far behind in terms of the jungle matchup with Dao by 1.5K.
Yeah, I like that OG went ahead and drafted the Zia there, you know, as a bit of a contingency plan. If they can't end the game early, they do have that scaling factor of Zia being able to bless someone here, likely on here on the channel and get them up to level 25. And if they can win early game with a scaling pick like that and not put all their eggs in one basket, as you see the blessing coming out onto On right there, OG kind of is like a perfect draft.
Yeah, actually, it's got all the bases covered, right? If you're looking to just draft something and it hits all the tick marks, everything that you want in a draft, it has early, mid, late, it has a lot of potential, plus the damage. So Gen.G, I mean, they know that what they're up against. They're looking to group up, looking to death ball, maybe get some sort of pick off, but OG's positioning really doesn't allow anyone to get isolated.
Look at this pressure that Gen.G's facing. They're getting cannon blasted under tower. They're getting hit by Zia ultimate here. The objective is up, but OG doesn't even need it. You go ahead and take out the tower first. Constantly getting vision. The Motsu actually such a valuable pick here in these best of fives. We've seen it very rarely in the rankings week best of threes, but in the best of five, Motsu is such a clutch pick.
Yeah, I mean, being able to hit those cannon blasts, those multi-man ones, I mean, it covers the retreat like it just happened right now. It sets it up, and it provides a lot of space. Plus, you have the Wen with those zoning universal laws, and there's really not much they can do, and Dao picking up yet another Tyrant. It's not even 10 minutes in.
Yeah, it's coming up on about 7,000 gold here, lead on the side of OG, 6,000 right here on the dot. They're still moving throughout the map. It is 5 towers to 0, and this is what I mean. OG, they have that play style that kind of overwhelms you, and when you're not ready for it, looks like Gen.G is not ready for it here. They're losing everything.
Yeah, losing everything. I mean, they're trying to go for the ambush. They get the nice little cannon blast onto Inuwa. The board is going to be set up, but Inuwa is actually so low. The Storm Strike used in return. The Universal Law just covering that back. The thing inside the box, they got him locked in, and they are going to get the kill. It looks like 3 members down the spar, and now Dao chasing after. Doesn't let anyone go. They will take the team ace. Dao making moves.
Dao taking out Lady Sun, Ray on Lady Sun in their base. That has to be sending a message here. Game 1 in such dominant fashion. It's gonna end here in just about 10 minutes. They tank up the towers and Crystal here, and this should be a game.
Yeah, I mean, look, 10 minutes into this one, looks like OG are gonna quickly take this one out. They've got other places to go. I think they had a reservation at some restaurant nearby, and all of a sudden losing in that grand finals in the KM West finals, and now they had to like postpone it, and they are gonna look to rush this and end this series as quickly as possible here.
And this is the runner-up from the East, huh? I don't know. OG has had longer games versus some of our weaker teams here on the West here. So that might be a little bit telling on which league is going to be stronger here as OG takes game 1.
Look. I mean, look, I didn't expect you to send your champion, all right? The kings of the West, having them drop down, and they're in uncharted territories, having to play an extra series going up against this. I am pretty sure Gen.G did not expect them. I'm sure they did a lot more research on the other teams, expecting them to kind of drop down. But getting into this situation and all of a sudden seeing somebody who's like OG and Dao chasing you down to the ends of the earth, and I'm sure there's a little bit of fear right now on the Gen.G side.
For sure, they are not ready for what they just went against here. On the bright side, this is global pick ban, so they don't have to deal with the pay anymore. We're likely to see something like the Princess Frost and Yang come out from them in these future drafts here. But yeah, the Italian brothers, Twisted Minds, and OG went ahead and handshake. They're like, all right, you know what, OG, you guys go ahead and take him out, all right? We'll go ahead and we'll get our spot here. You guys get your spot in the last call, and that's how we have these matches here.
Look, I didn't get the script. I didn't get it available in advance on that one, so I didn't know that this was going to happen. Seeing OG in this situation, to be honest, I had zero expectations that they were going to be there. There was no way. The fact that they only lost 1 series and they happened to be dropping down from the grand finals, I mean, that's actually very crazy. And again, Gen.G right now, shell-shocked. I think that at the end of the day, like going into this one, you saw how good of a draft OG had going into this one. You knew that they were going to be very strong, but right now, Gen.G, I'm hoping that they were like, okay, we can calm down. We knew they were going to throw a big punch at us. How do we respond in game 2?
For sure. And it's interesting to see, you know, I'm not too sure about the pacing of the games in the East League, but the pacing of the games here are very quick in the West League. We see OG bust out this style in the rankings week, and teams are not really prepared for it. But the West League slowly started adapting, started to play against the Pei, the Byron, and they kind of been able to match that tempo here. But the East League, maybe they haven't encountered that yet. You know, this is a first for them here, and they're a bit overwhelmed.
So we've seen it, like the Byron Pay one. I mean, it's not completely off. I don't think it's as polished as what we just saw, because OG really looked like on another level. Like, they were very strong with this and being able to just close it out. But again, let's talk a little bit about the KDA here. I mean, Dao, it seemed like this is a man possessed, super angry with what happened to the grand finals, and he's like, okay, I'm going to carry this team. I'm going to go 4-0-2, make sure that we just secure this one in.
Dao 9,400 gold. He has like almost double the gold of his counterpart, which is insane to me here. As we see, look how low the damage numbers are. This is why OG's damage numbers were not up to scuff, all right? They're ending games in 10 minutes. Keke only did 13,000 damage.
Yeah, I mean, this is like an oddity, I would say, right? I think Gen.G definitely got shooken up by this one. They were, expecting to kind of lose. They wanted to see just how strong OG were going to be. I think that in terms of the draft, obviously they need to come up with something better. I think that we want to see the more non-conventional drafts. Maybe, even up the series. Turn this one into, like a best of 3 as opposed to a best of 5. Just kind of slow the pace down. But again, the gold graph going in favor of OG. Really no chance for Gen.G to get back into this one.
They definitely need to stop pulling punches here, because as I mentioned, OG is a very momentum-driven team. If you can go ahead and stop that momentum early, it'll throw them off guard. We've seen that's how OG actually lost versus Twisted there, They were winning, and then one crazy shift, potentially named Nightly on the Byron, completely shifted the momentum in one play here, and that's what Gen.G needs if they want to go ahead and get some wins on the board in the series.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to start with that, but of course, the MVP is none other than Dao. 4-0-2, 19% of the damage. I mean, but 26% of the gold. I mean, he was farming so quickly. He was just moving around, and this is the power of the pay. And you're wondering, like why is this combination so good? It's because, this pay can just bounce all over the place. He's constantly just farming, taking things out. I mean, he's getting picks as he's just rotating across the map.
Yeah, also interesting to note, another stat here we didn't mention yet here. Wen actually only took 5% damage, I think, on the Xia, because people were so focused on Dao on the pay, getting them out of their face. Xia is just able to fire freely in the back line, with impunity. No one can even get on top of him.
Yeah, I mean, his position was great. I mean, just always in the back, always understanding what he needs to do in terms of this team, and turning these fights around. I mean, they were gone on. Gen.G thought they had an advantage, and actually, with that complete turnaround, it was just pretty much a fake back. OG just turned that around, ensure that they got it. But look at these boards. They were never in a good position to kind of lock them down, because again, you had that universal law from Wen Xia just kind of controlling, outzoning them almost. And look at this, Dao going in, taking this one down and taking the crystal. It was a very easy game by OG at this point. Just complete dominance on this one.
For sure. But as we mentioned, it is the global pick ban format, so they cannot pull out the same strategy once again. That seems to be the only composition that they do that focuses on early game that hard. So we should see some more traditional games coming up, and that's going to be coming up after this break.
In this world, only ones in this world, only ones in this call out my name, cut through the sound of the rain. No matter how I feed the flame, I feel the darkness and the pain. All of the ways we tried to break free from the night. We made it out, we found the light. I fly so high, light up the skyline. Let's do it this time, like it's a whole new vibrant world. I see that I got everything I need. It's alright, I'm on fire, I'm alive 'cause now.
One in a flash. That was 10 minutes. That was very difficult to watch if you're a Gen.G Esports fan. But going into game 2, Phil, what does Gen.G Esports need to do here?
They need to get, I haven't seen it too much, but Rock powered up from my understanding, right? Once Rock is powered up and he's able to get a foothold on the game, he could run it. But scaling picks like the Ogren versus OG, which is known for their massive early game pressure, is going to be really tough. They need to have lots of strategies in place to deal with that invading and that pressure from the pay early game. Potentially try to match OG's tempo and not get run over.
Yeah, and I mean, look, if we're looking at this one, of course, the global ban had picked. These are the heroes that were picked in game 1. They will not be allowed to be picked again by the same team moving forward. So going into this best of 5, you need to be super smart with what you're picking. Right now, Gen.G, they went with a more traditional lineup. I mean, again, Ogren, you were talking about the fact that it does need to power up. Absolutely correct. It's one of those things where, you know, they thought they had a little bit of time going up against this, but OG were like, hey, you're actually on a timer. We're going to speed up the game, quicken up the pace as much as possible, and make it difficult for Gen.G to really just kind of slow the game. There was never any moment for them to just kind of like breathe at this point.
Maybe take a page out of OG's book, you know, go ahead and try the pay here, try to neutralize the early game, and then I really like the draft from OG, how they had that late game potential as well too. If they can go ahead and do a similar draft on the side of Gen.G, I doubt some of the picks like the Zuya are going to be removed away. They could maybe try to give them a taste of their own medicine.
Yeah, I mean, that's the idea, and that's definitely the theory, and I think that it's something that they'll probably consider, because we do know that Rock does actually play pay, but it's more of those things where OG, they've mastered this strategy. You can see, it was very clean. They understand how this strategy works, and if they're going to go up against it, I am pretty sure that they have the answers to that test as well.
They definitely wrote the book on it, but we've also seen, you know, some things are set in stone, you know? Even if you know how strong Pei and Byron are early game, that doesn't mean you can play against it well, right? We've seen teams like Twisted here actually pick up the Pei and Byron after they saw OG go ahead and dominate with it, and they actually performed pretty well against OG with that combo as well.
Yeah. All right. But, well, let's see what happens. I mean, this is going to be, of course, a game 2. The draft is going to be starting at this point. It's Coach Andy versus Yishuai going into this one. And again, for this one, OG will be on the blue side. They're going to pick first, and they honed in on that one, Phil. And they're like, no, that strategy's not going to work against us. We're going to ban out the pay here.
They do not want a taste of their own medicine because they've definitely felt it before, and it is not good. So they go ahead and ban out the pay. Gen.G seems to be really afraid of Dao Dao's Luna here. While Dao Dao's a strong Luna player, I would not say it's one of those characters that needs that target ban from him. I would have liked to see Gen.G go ahead and target ban the pay game 1 here potentially, but they keep up the same strategy here. They ban out the Luna here, and Arlie and Meyer on the board. They're going to give away both. Okay, interesting ban here. The Ogren ban allows them to take one of either the Arlie or the Mai, and it looks like OG is opting for Arlie here.
Yeah, smart pickup here, right, by OG in this one. I mean, look, I think the ban from Gen.G, the Ogren, this is a team that they know OG Dao Dao is amazing on. He's 9-1 on that hero. You have to, you know, take those heroes away, but it's impossible to ban everyone, especially when you're only got 2 bans. But the Arlie pickup here by for this OG lineup is going to be very strong.
Yeah, Mai. I'm curious how Mai does in the East. I personally am a bit of in the camp of Mai being a bit of a fraudulent pick here in the West. A lot of teams go ahead and prioritize it, but it has a so-so performance here in the West. I think Mai overall has a probably negative win rate, if I'm correct, overall, even though it has like 100% presence in the pick bans.
Yeah, so actually, Mai didn't get a first win until like midway through the survival week. It was like 0-7. It was just absolutely terrible. It was not able to get anything going. But look, talk to me a little duo that they have from OG that they really, really like here.
I really like OG's drafts because all of them revolve around a core, right? For the first game, we saw the Pei Byron core here. Early game domination is easy to understand. Invade the enemy jungle, follow up after you get pressure in your lane, right? And then second combo here, as I mentioned, the Liang Princess Frost, another really streamlined game plan. You grab them with the Liang flash ultimate, Princess Frost puts the ultimate right on top of there, and these are strategies that are going to be evergreen in the game of HOK. No one is ever going to be able to survive that combo so, you know, it's great into everything. And as I mentioned, you know, it's one of OG's signatures as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really strong combo, and in the hands of OG, it's just next level. But Gen.G trying to, I mean, they knew that this was potentially going to be out there, right? You have the Zhangfei Umbrella offers to hopefully break that up a bit. Plus, you have Wawa on his Dharma to kind of just truth and just shake things up a little bit. My concern now is that Inua, you have to be super careful because, you know, Liang Muchen will be in hiding in any single brush and just flash control you, and you're going to have a bad time.
Gen.G here maybe not doing their homework on OG. They ban out Kaiser and Dune, and those are definitely not Dao Dao's preferred picks. He's more the speed of, you know, the Luna, the Fade maybe, the Pei, more assassin-style carry junglers. We rarely see him on these tanks.
Yeah, but the reason being is that they see the rest of the lineup of OG. Everyone from that line, very squishy. If they're able to lock anyone down, they're going to be able to just kind of blow them up very quickly. So that's the thought process between those bans by Gen.G here. But they're going to go with the Gen.G and then Dian Wei, Dao Dao. This is going to be scary.
Dan Wei, not a character that's often picked, but is a good counter pick against the Gen.G here, being able to cleanse that Imperial Mandate, if I'm correct here, and all the CC on the side of Gen.G. The Troops mantras, the Mai combos, this is actually a great pick on side of OG, a very rarely seen pick as well.
Okay, they've done this before. They've done this once, going into this one, and they let Rock kind of play on him. So they're going to be doing a little bit of a swap in that sense. Ray will be picking up the Gen.G. He will be the farm laner. And it's really going to come down to the hooks because he's able to get onto them. Aside from the Dao Dao Dian Wei, he just needs to avoid them. The Swans could potentially do the damage. But again, when it was shown up against Nongshim, it didn't have the greatest of games. They weren't able to get things going. And they did lose this one. But again, Rock is the only guy that plays this hero in KME.
Yeah, tell me about that character, because I have not only never seen it in the West League, I've only seen it once in ranked, and it trolled me, and it lost. So what does that character do?
So he's basically like an assassin style, like he's got hooks that can kind of pull you in. Think of him like Foods in a way, less tanky, more nimble, get onto the backside, hitting you from behind kind of thing. He's going to be like, again, farming as quickly as possible, then he wants to be getting onto the squishy backline. That is the thought process here by Gen.G. Are they able to do it, considering you have really just that one tankier guy? And yes, you have Wuchen on the Liang to potentially save anyone else when those jump-ins happen, but there's actually a lot of heroes you need to worry about from Gen.G here.
Yeah, when you mentioned unconventional drafts on the side of Gen.G, you are not kidding here. As Zwans gets picked up, they also are running double smite, so a little bit more objective control inside Gen.G here. Zhangfei, one of the few supports that could run that smite viably.
Yeah. And going into this one, again, very squishy lineup from OG. If their positioning is perfect, this game is just over. But I do think that you're going to see a very early good start by OG because you have that combination with Muchen and Wen, you know, the Liang Princess Frost. That is almost a guarantee, like you were talking about earlier, you know, in the draft. This is a 1-2 combination, tough to deal with, especially early.
Wen coming up here with a roam on Wawa level 1 here. This time they're investing a little bit more in Keke. He was not a big fan of getting camped last game here. As we see a solo kill come out from An. Wow.
What was that? He thought he was safe, and he actually used the flash as well, but An was like, actually, you're dead no matter what you do. I'm going to get under you. I mean, the tower was no help at that point, just understanding the limits, and An, just like a simple walk-off and a freebie for him.
Yeah, Arlie not particularly known for their early games too. I would wager that Gen.G is, you know, advantaged in that matchup, but obviously not after seeing On here pop the frenzy and take out Ray under tower.
Yeah, needs to be careful, especially with that frenzy. He needed to have timed that one better, but he gets the knock-up. Inua needs to provide that pressure. Sometimes when he's on, he's amazing, but he needs to ensure that early game he's making moves across the map, and again, just providing that presence.
Yeah, really like the Dan Wei pickup here from Dao Dao. I mentioned that it's great against the CC on side Gen.G as we see a replay here in the 1v1.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's just going to walk it down. I mean, Ray, he actually flashes away with the last one. The auto attack was already there. And now they have the pullback. That's going to be the hook. And you're trying to run away. What are you going to do? Rock is just trying to pull him back. But Clue's like, hey, actually, I don't want to fight, guys.
All right, this game we see Gen.G doing a little bit better early game though. They're keeping up 2-minute mark. Last game, 2-minute mark, I think OG was already up about 1,000 gold, so they've definitely done better. They're feeling out OG, and they're starting to learn how to go ahead and deal with them. Sure, they do have a slower lineup there though, and in the mid game where we see the Liang, Princess Frost kind of combo together is when they really start to come online. But they're doing a lot better this game for sure.
Yeah, they've got the hook and they've got the rotation. They're trying to go for this one. Dow gets the slam though. He gets a little bit low. Rock has him hooked in, but it doesn't look like it's going to continue on. Gen.G will slow down. They made a rotation, but unfortunately, no conversions out.
That cleanse from Danwei is so valuable, being able to cleanse the hook on side of Zeon's here and not getting flipped over, because that would have been surely the end of him.
Yeah, I would have had a bad time at this point. But again, it just kind of like Rock at the same time. I mean, yeah, he's throwing out those hooks, but you're kind of like limiting Dow's movement. He doesn't really want to be fighting at this point. He just kind of wants to push you back a bit. He wants to be in his own jungle, constantly farming. But seeing as that he's limited in, he's kind of like stuck in. It's kind of slowing him down. They do have the hook. They find Wen, and it looks like he's going to give up first blood. Sorry, the second kill on that one. Wen goes down on this.
Yeah, this game's a little bit too action-heavy for Dao. Someone like Danwei probably prefers to just power farm their jungle, get their items up, you know, and fight more around the mid-game. But Gen.G is not letting that happen as they're building a lead against OG.
Yeah, and let Inua and Rock kind of run with this, right? This is the nice little 1-2 combination. They have a lot of burst, a lot of mobility to kind of jump on top of you. If they're able to kind of hook on, you're going to have a bad time. On the other hand, he's going to stick around with Muchen. Muchen did hit level 4. This is a potential gank opportunity.
Yeah, Clue with the Unbridled Outburst ready here. One of the strongest supports in a skirmish. He's looking for it though. Also, the Zhongfei very good against Liang. Whenever you grab someone, being able to shout them down from very far away to cancel that. That was a great pickup by Clue that we didn't mention in the draft.
Oh, they've got the lockdown here. It's going to be the control. They have it, but the Inua just looking to push him back, but too much damage, and both of them are going to go down. Very squishy. Clue, all he can do is watch.
There we go. That's that evergreen combo we mentioned. Lock him down with the Liang and drop the Princess Frost right on top of it. There's nothing they can do.
Yeah, nothing they can do at this point. And now Dao taking the Tyrant. It looks like they're going to take the Azor Golem on their way out as well. And OG starting to find their footing. I mean, yes, it's only a 400 gold lead, but getting those pickoffs has got to be a little demoralizing if you're Gen.G.
Yeah, this mid game is really where OG is going to go ahead and shine here. This 4-minute to about 10-minute mark here, where they could get these combos off in these small skirmishes before they take full-on 5v5s.
And look at this, completely zoned away. Rock and Clue actually have to recall back. Inua now joins, but it's too little too late. If anything, he might be able to go for the pickoff on An. He's being very patient here, but An actually is a higher level. I mean, he's out farming almost everyone right now.
On getting ganked here in a bit of a 2v1.
Oh, he's going to be pushed back. No, he actually dashes away, gets over, but he gets knocked up. He gets a slam down. Inua does find him in the end.
That was a beautiful take on the Parasol there, jumping all the way back to their tower, but Rock was ready and flips him back into the fray.
Yeah, he's not getting away from Rock. Just too quick, too fast on that one, able to get that hook. But now OG with 4 members, yes, An is back up in about 3 seconds, and it looks like Dao will just scare everyone away. He's level 10, he is a monster as he's chunking into Clue, and he has to use the Umbrella Outburst just to stay alive, and he will.
Clue almost getting punched through by that true damage from Danwei. We didn't see Keke do much in the first game because they put a lot of pressure on him, but this game might be a little bit of the opposite here. You know, An gets set behind, and Keke gets the shine.
Oh, they've got him. They got the slam dunk, and Dao secures this 1-2 combination with Dao on top of that is just way too much at this stage.
Yeah, Gen.G has that legal immunity, but that cannot cleanse the suppression from Liang. You're going to go to jail after that one.
They got Dao under the tower. Rock had the hook, but he was under the tower. He's the one that's going to fall, and now Gen.G on the run. It's a full-out rout, and Clue is down. Dao just picking them up. Inua looking to just go for the dunk. He does end up killing Dao, so if anything, he trades his own life away, and now on over the wall, he gets to safety with that light step.
Super bloody game here. 11 kills in 6 minutes here. Even though OG was dominant last game, it was not as bloody, you know, it was not as back and forth. The gold here, they are still up 2,000 gold, but they are able to get confirmations on the side of Gen.G.
Another control, and they locked him in. Wawa tried to get cute with that truth, but KK actually didn't get hit the backboard, and so he was fine, and now OG get yet another kill. And yes, while there's been more kills, they've got the hook. They find Wen. He wants to at least get this kill, but Rock not able to to get them down. And when somehow still alive, Inuo finally does find him out. And now they're on the run. Rock has already been killed. Ray now on the run. DowDow just chasing after him. This monster is super scary.
This is such a hectic game. I felt like they were fighting in the enemy jungle there for the past like 3 minutes almost here. But the downside of that for Gen.G is when people are fighting your jungle, they take your stuff here.
Yeah, I mean, you can't farm. Like, they don't want to turn this into just like a kill battle. They still are so far behind right now that they're not able to really keep on pace. OG using that aggression, that map control, and taking away even this blue buff here.
Yeah, OG has been taking everything. DowDow has been power farming both jungles now. Here, as you see, Gen.G forced to kind of retreat away and turtle up here just to try and protect themselves and their jungle.
Oh, they've got the hook. They find On. He has the Paracel. They want to go the Umbrella Outburst, pushing back at least Muchen, but with a barrier, he's going to be slowed down. Clue looking to go in for this one. They do get that kill. That's a nice little start, but now Inuo on the low side. It looks like they're going to look to run. The flash forward by Wen, trying to go for the stop, but the truth, and they find him, and now KK will join the fight, gets the pick up onto Inuo, and here comes DowDow. He's on a mad tour. Let the man work, and Rock is down for the count. On finds him out, and now OG up a member are looking to just dive. They want Clue.
I would say that was a pretty bad fight for OG, but they're just so ahead it does not matter. They brute force it. Wen goes in and flashes forward 1v5 here, goes down, but gets some skills onto the enemies there, and they were able to drag it long enough for Keke and DowDow to come in here on the flank and clean up the fight.
Look, DowDow is so far ahead right now. I mean, he's up 3 levels from Rock, right? There's a huge difference right at this point. He's 5-1-3, has the highest net worth, 7,800 at this point. Anytime he gets into the fight, oh, they find him. Wawa is looking to go on to KK. Do they have the damage? No, they do. They end up killing him, but Clue survives with that Umbrella Outburst. He was locked in, but now Ray getting gone on. I'm not letting him go. He's just too mobile.
Has destroyed a tower.
I'm playing super aggressive on the Arlie here. It seems that teams are starting to understand that, you know, the Arlie is the true power pick here, you know? Both Arlie and Mai have 100% presence, but I think Arlie is the far superior pick here.
I mean, those two, I mean, DowDow and On, they're just blowing up everyone. Everyone else is just kind of controlling. Yes, they have a bunch of damage, but man, they have no answers. Gen.G right now, Rock is really struggling. He's falling even further behind at this point, but now the control on the Clue. Where you're going to go, I'll take that one for free.
Muchen just doing beautiful setups every single time here. That's among his like 6-7 ultimate there, and every single ultimate converts to a kill for someone on the side of OG.
I mean, that control is on point. Every single time it's off cooldown, he seems to use it. He finds the perfect target, and they convert that kill. They ensure that they get it. They do such a good job of just understanding when their skills are off cooldown and getting those pickoffs.
Unless the graphic's wrong here, I think Muchen just gone ahead and picked up another active item here. He has the support item and a Splendor, so he has a little bit of everything here. You know, if he gets caught out, he can go ahead and Splendor, and if he needs to catch them, he can use that haul to run people down.
Yeah, I mean, he knows that he's going to be targeted anytime he goes in. And Inuo getting in a bad spot, not mobile enough. When you're the heart of the lion's den, you're going to get picked off. And now Gen.G with 4 members have to retreat yet again.
I would like to see the Zuya from this game here, because if they got ahead and blessed DowDow, he would probably be like level 20 right now on the Dan way. He was the quickest to level 15. I think got level 15 at 9 minutes or so here. On is catching up now here, about to get 15 themselves. But they are just getting away with the game here, and they're going to use this Overlord to seal up the game probably and look to, you know, hammer the final nail here in the coffin of Gen.G this game.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any condolences to Gen.G right now, they survived to the 11-minute mark, but OG now on the run. They're looking to go for Rock. DowDow looking to out-heal this one. He's been focused. He's been killed. The hooks have been on point, and now with a member down, Gen.G needed just hold, but On through it all. It's getting the back door, taking the T3 mid, wants the top one as well. He has the Parasol if he wants to go. He's not able to get that last shot, but the minion will do it. He gets in the top lane. He gets knocked up. He gets the pick off, and On is like a machine gun, taking them all down. The hook pulls him back. KK's in a bad spot. Inu is going to be killed. Rock now looking to go for this, looking to just trade. Clue is down for the count as well. And now Ray just trying to fight this one. On, turn this guy on. He's just completely on a pentakill as he closes out the game. And On is going to single-handedly take game 2.
On completely untouched in that fight. Well, not untouched. They tried their best to kill him, but he's full build. He has lifesteal itemized now, and every bit of damage they do to him, he goes ahead and kills someone and heals it all back and ends up getting a pentakill. They spent everything on Dao thinking he was the carry. They forgot about on the Arlie.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, it was one of those things where they were trying to target him, but he was able to be so mobile. He was able to light step. He was just jabbing in and out, and it was so hard to kind of pin him down. And at that point, he was just like free firing on everybody because they were mad chaos. They weren't able to find the right targets. They didn't really have the damage, especially once Rock went down. Just a tough situation. And again, that was a game that was all OG.
There's too many all-stars there on the side of OG. They had On, which was a one-man army we see here at the end. Dao, for sure, one-man army, dives the bot lane tier 2 tower, and they have to expend all 4 people to go ahead and take him down. Princess Frost and the Liang, while they're both more supportive, you know, giving more of their farm to their teammates, they were still a nice little 2 set piece there that can take anyone out.
Yeah. I mean, just completely caught it out. I mean, this Princess Frost Leon combination was just too much. Every single time they were able to secure that kill. And once you do, then Gen.G can't really fight, especially when you're down a member, right? 5 versus 4, you have that power play, and it's a huge advantage for OG to continue that snowball. And everybody was just finding their groove, understanding what they needed to do in those team fights. And this was an all OG game here.
For sure, really like the drafts from OG both games, giving the East a bit of a sampler here, you know, of how the West plays and some of their strategies here. OG each game picking their signature picks. Now I gotta think, what are they gonna pick in their final game here? Final game, we might see some Mulan or Guan Yu come out from Keke here and show them their final signature.
Yeah, actually, that would be great. I mean, going into this one, the third game, of course, again, in the same way, Gen.G need to strike back. I think that going into that draft, you were talking about the Dune, Ban, and Kaiser, right? Both of those really not being played by Dao. So again, letting this Dian Wei go, if they blocked or banned this one, it would have been interesting to see exactly what direction they went to, because that could have completely changed it up, especially if they didn't have that Dian Wei in that game.
I don't think they were ready for the Dan Wei because it's one of those very niche picks that Dao very rarely plays. I think this is his second game on it, so it's going to be really hard to ban out. But for sure, I don't think I've seen Dao play any Kaiser and maybe only 1 game of Dune as well here. I was expecting something potentially like a Fade here this game coming out from Dao, or maybe even a Lamb or a Jing. Sometimes Dao likes to go ahead and bust out. He's more of that assassin carry jungler once the pay is already exhausted. Luna, but it was unfortunately banned out too.
Yeah, just the tempo, the pace, everything. But the Dian Wei was great because you had somebody who's tanky and to kind of, you know, be that front liner, which is what they were kind of lacking. I mean, if you're looking at the rest of the squad, very squishy, but checking out this gold graph, all OG throughout the end. I mean, Gen.G had some moments, especially early, but OG were like, okay, we know where our peaks are. We're able to just kind of hit that point and just hit the ground running at that point.
I think the Dan Wei pick was more of a counter pick, you know, Dao flexing his knowledge and his adaptability in the game, identifying that the enemy team has a lot of melee and crowd control, you know? He can go ahead and lock in the Dan Wei, cleanse up the Zhongfei Unbridled Outburst, the Mai combination maybe, and fight back. And it just shows the extent to the hero pool or the hero ocean that Dao has built up throughout the series.
Yep. And of course, the MVP will be Arlie, 11-1-4, 30% of the team's damage. But this is, you know, again, they picked this one first. They knew that this is, you know, just get on his Arlie. It doesn't matter what other heroes they choose. Obviously, it did in this one. I mean, they did help out and they contributed. But getting first blood where you literally just walk down Ray, and the snowball just kind of got bigger from there.
Yeah, OG, they just are on top of the world. Once they go ahead and get that momentum, that confidence, it feels like they can do anything. They're on just walking down right under his tower. It feels like Gen.G going into this final game, they're definitely going to be really off balance, and they're probably going to be really scared. You know, they just walked into lane here, Ray, and got soloed by On.
Yeah, I mean...
And got penta-killed on, too, actually. I just remembered.
Yeah.
They got penta-killed on as well.
Yeah, everything that you would want. I mean, he's just a maestro on this hero. Look at how he moves around, and this is the moment. Inuo was like, okay, we're going for him. We have this chance. But On is like, no, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to light step back. I'm going to be all the way in the back. Look at how his positioning so far away, understanding that maximum range, and just getting the pickoffs, going in from target to target, just blowing them up, turning it around, and gets the penta kill in game 2 of the last call. Absolutely crazy game by On here. And of course,
yeah,
as we
well,
go into
with how decidedly they won that final fight, you almost would not notice that was a 4v5. Dao went down in the tier 2 tower already, and they took a 4v5 against Gen.G in their base and only lost one member.
I mean, look, they knew they were so far ahead that they could take the fight. I mean, yes, Dao had gotten killed, but they expended a lot of ults as well. So those are down, and now that you have An, who's like next level in terms of net worth and his damage, I mean, he's just going to instantly delete them throughout. So again, just understanding what you need to do and taking those good team fights, very smart play by OG in the end.
Yeah, OG having a lot of stars, as I've mentioned there on their team. Sometimes On, doesn't really get the spotlight. He definitely got the spotlight this game. He's always in the back. He's always farming. Usually, everyone's always talking about Keke or Dao going ham, and you see a little bit of that from Gen.G too, expending all their resources on Dao there when the true carry was On all along. But that's going to be it for this now here. We're going to go ahead and take a bit of a break before we get into Game 3.
In Hero's Gorge, the base is the spring of life. In the real world, every forest and plant is the Earth's spring of life. The base nourishes the gorge, just as Earth's ecosystems sustain all life. If the base is exhausted, heroes will lose their home. If ecosystems are destroyed, all life loses their habitat. Honor of Kings is working with players worldwide to support real-world environmental causes and protect our planet's future. By participating in Protect Nature, Protect All Life, all efforts in the event will contribute to real-world causes. Protect the environment and let us defend the honor of our planet together.
Excuse me.
Hugging Steve's victory.
Yes, yeah. Another round. Sure, but how about a smoother phone next time?
Realme 14, performance beyond limits.
2 quick games. They're up 2-0 in the series up against Gen.G. Last call going into KWC. Everything is on the line, Phil. What does Gen.G need to do here?
Gen.G needs to shake it up, and I'm not sure if Zwans is what they need to shake it up with here. A lot of the key combinations on the side of OG are taken away now here. So this is probably going to be their weakest draft coming into Game 3. And as we mentioned, they're a very momentum-driven team. Maybe if Gen.G can bust out all the stops for this final game, draft a really, really strong draft, and perform a bit of an upset here on OG, they can shift the momentum and things in their favor. They have not exhausted that many strong picks here. I'm looking here at the drafts. Argren was exhausted here. Diadea is still up. The Mai was exhausted, unfortunately. They should be able to piece together one more strong team here to try and go ahead and stop the match point that OG is on now.
Look at you. You're always just kind of, supporting OG even to the end. Going into Game 3, you're worried. We're like, oh, do they have any heroes left? And I'm like, no. They're up 2-0, my friend. I think they're in a great spot. They can play some lesser heroes at this point. Really give the other team a chance at this point. Because Gen.G need to kind of pull out all the stops on this one. Of course, this is a must-win situation. Lose and you go home. This is the moment. Is there a potential for a reverse sweep? You never really know because Gen.G has some crazy drafts at times.
For sure, and maybe something, like that is what they need to throw off OG, which is so seasoned against these more traditional compositions here. We mentioned OG busting out their Pei Byron. Now they did their Princess Frost Liang. Game 3 here, maybe we're going to see the signature Keke Guan Yu.
I mean, now is the time, right? I mean, if you're going to go with any sort of, let's close out this game. Let's, again, just be very strong with what we need to do. Put our signature heroes out there and just kind of close it out. Make Gen.G suffer as much as possible, by just kind of, putting our best heroes on right now.
Yeah, the coach knows how Gen.G trying to hype up their players. As you see on OG side here, Dowd was like business as usual. Game 3, not a problem. Let's go ahead and draft it up. They banned the Pei early here, and they know how strong both those picks can be as they got their first 2 wins off the back of both of them here. As you see Gen.G ban Mai and Ogren.
Really just trying to target OG as much as possible on some of these. They don't really want to deal with those, again, the Mai, the high-flying type of assassin style, just being super annoying. But OG, they're going to start off with a Diadea in for the first pick for them. Mu Chen is an absolute beast on this one.
Yeah, Diadea gets locked in here. Gen.G opting to go for the Luong and Li Bang. Li Bang, not a character you see too often here. Interesting that they picked up the Diadea over the Long. I would have thought that final game here, OG wants to lock in the Long for On. But Luna here is coming out now. They finally found a position where it is not banned. They were forced to ban the Mai and the Ogren here. And Dowd gets to flex his muscles here on the Luna now.
Okay, so this has been the KME special, the Liu Bang. It is 13-2. It hardly, it wins and it plays really well with Han Shin. And this is like the one of those non-conventional drafts that we talk about, right? Because Rock plays an amazing Han Shin. He's able to farm throughout the map very quickly. And whenever he goes in, you have the Liu Bang, the battlefield command on top. That's usually how this combination works. But they're setting it up also with the Loom here. Mind you, this little combination, it got a win off of Nongshim one time, but the second time around, Nongshim had all the answers. They figured it out.
Yeah, this is definitely something OG is not going to be ready for here. Li Bang, Han Shin, very rarely seen here in the West. I think Han Shin was picked once by Next Ruya, and Li Bang was picked in like a niche best of 5 here. So if this is a strong combination for the East here, and it's something OG is not ready for, this could be what Gen.G needs to turn the tides.
Yeah, I mean, look, everything, when we're talking about these sorts of drafts, Gen.G has definitely had success with this one. This is one of their best lineups going in. It might potentially catch them off guard, but they're still up against the ape that is in the room, which is going to be OG, and they're going up against 100 men from Gen.G, which only have 5 members at this point.
Yeah, interesting to see OG actually draft the Dharma. Keke, not a big Dharma fan usually. We see them ban out Dharma, and he doesn't play it too often, but it looks like they're going to have to combo this game, the YikeZGG and Dharma here, punching them into the walls that YikeZGG goes ahead and creates. Concert U getting picked up here a little bit early. Concert U is played in the West, but it's usually later on in the series when a lot more of the marksmen are expended. So interesting to see On pick up the Concert U in match 3. Game 3.
So look, I mean, the Concert you would probably pick more for the protecting wins to kind of protect for the eventual assault by Rock's Hanshin. If he gets on top of you, you have some way to kind of mitigate some of that damage. But Gen.G finalizing their draft, they're going to go with the Liang Princess Frost. We saw it a lot be very successful in Game 2 in the hands of OG, and they've turned it around on this one. Gen.G's lineup, to me, has been the strongest one thus far.
For sure. I think Gen.G definitely found out firsthand how to play that combo, as they constantly got picked off by the Liang Princess Frost last game. And now I'm very interested to see how this Hanshin farms and maneuvers around the map, being one of the most highly mobile characters here, versus Luna, another highly mobile character. This is going to be an explosive game.
Definitely going to be explosive. It's going to be very interesting seeing how they're, if you're going to look on the other side from OG, one, he needs to be very, selective with those boards. If he's able to lock them in, and especially if you get Hanshin stuck in and you're able to do all that damage to kind of burst him down, he's going to have a tough time. He does not want to be locked in a cage.
Yeah, and Dharma being able to hit the Truth Mantra and hit them into those boards here are going to be crucial here for the team fighting on the side of OG. More of a team fight composition, not something we see a lot from OG. Usually they pick these more skirmishy compositions, but this is probably one of their best straight up 5v5 compositions here.
Interesting draft. I think, look, once Dao got his Luna, you're kind of thinking, things are looking on the up for OG. But Gen.G are like, hey, actually, we can out-farm it. We're able to kind of outclass it, especially since we have the Battlefield Command with Wawa jumping in to kind of turn that 1 versus 1 into a 2 versus 1 and a slight advantage for Gen.G.
Yeah, that might be what they need to catch them out. OG right now has great momentum and confidence. As you see, last game, Dao was diving under the tier 2 tower solo, right? So maybe in a 1v1, if the Battlefield Command can come out and turn it, it could throw them off.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be Dao versus Rock on this matchup. Who's going to be able to outfarm the other one? I think that everyone else, as long as you're not like completely just getting run down and giving up first blood like he did last time, I think Ray needs to ensure that he just stays alive, plays for the late game. The Loom will be fine. I think he's a much better hero than the Concert Yui, so he has a slight edge as long as he just stays alive.
We look at the map here, we see actually, we mentioned how fast Hanshin can go ahead and farm, but he's actually getting double jungle help from Clue. So super rapidly clearing out the jungle there with the 2-man as they go ahead and clean it up here. Now Hanshin is all finished up. He goes ahead and catches a mid-wave here too, it looks like, and now he's going top with ultimate ready.
Yeah, and you're seeing exactly, this is kind of, again, a KME thing, where you have, like, your mid laner, okay, they're going to go up in the top lane, KK doing a little bit of damage. Dao is taking, he's looking to just go in for this one. He wants to go for Rock, no, he changes targets, goes on the Wawa, gets the pullback, gets first blood onto Wawa, and Rock gets picked off as well, and a double kill going the way of Dao.
Brutal. This is going to be a brutal one here. Dao had games where he started without a lead on Luna and he gone crazy. But if you're giving him a double kill...
Yeah. I mean, it's just a terrible start for Gen.G at this point. But just, like, the fact that they were kind of sticking around, they probably should have ran, but, Dao kind of baited them out. He was just waiting for cooldowns off his skills more than anything else.
Yeah, I thought the Hanshin would be a little bit stronger early game, but it seems like Luna does win that skirmish there and claim a double kill for the side of Dao.
Yeah, and actually, okay, so what I was trying to say earlier was that what they do in the KME is that the mid laner will end up going into the farm lane or the top lane, just out of the lane, and they'll give all of the creeps to the jungler. In this case, it's going to be Rock's Hanshin, so they funnel as much farm as possible. In this case, realizing that actually Ray has a decent matchup. He doesn't need to be babysat all the time, so they can even let Clue kind of help with that farm, and that's what you noticed why they were kind of moving around as a duo.
Interesting. Yeah, we don't see too much Hanshin here, so that strategy doesn't come out too often on that character. But we see a lot with Ogren here. One of those characters I mentioned needs to get powered up. We see a lot of Princess Frost mid go ahead and give their farm all the way to Ogren here and let him scale up, whereas Princess Frost plays as more of a secondary support for the team.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely going to be secondary support on this one. You know, it's really, he's just kind of for that control more than anything else, dealing with Dao, and that has got to be super scary. Inuo got shot. He's going to look to turn this around. He did sniff them out in the end, though.
Interesting to note here, Dao actually going the Giant's Grip on Luna here, not using the magical damage item, preferring to be a little bit more tanky, noticing that their Dharma is not the best frontline here, and he wants to beef up a little bit for these fights.
Yeah, Muchen will actually Heartlink away. Gen.G, again, just putting a little bit of pressure on. And I think, to your point, you know, Dao, he needs to be the frontliner. He needs to be tanky. Everyone is very squishy on that lineup.
Yeah, if he can go ahead and get ahead too, he's going to do similar amounts of damage as well, and he's already pretty ahead. So he's going to invest in his durability. He knows he's going to get the base damage already. He's up in levels. He's up in gold. He just has to make sure he does not go down and make up for the squishiness that is Keke on the Dharma in the Clash lane.
Yeah, but it looks like 4 minutes. OG, look at that perfectly spaced board, just zoning them away, ensuring that Dao has a free smite on that Tyrant, picking that one up. A good start for them already.
Yeah, that's a great note. A lot of people think the board is just for catching people, right? It could be used for zoning as well, too. That perfectly placed board makes it that no one on the side of Gen.G can go ahead and walk in and contest the objective.
Oh, they've got the control. They find Muchen, and that's going to be a good start. Again, Clue needs to be on point with these things. Anytime it's off cooldown, he needs to ensure that he's making rotations with the team and getting those pickoffs. It starts with him, and it will probably end with Rock and Ray just ensuring that they get those kills.
Muchen definitely getting a bit of a taste of his own medicine there with the Liang. He caught so many on the side of Gen.G last game.
Yeah, that's rough at this point. I mean, look, as Gen.G, you want to be limiting the buffs that Dao can get. If he's not able to get the blue buff, you restrict him as a hero throughout, right? But OG, understanding that the strengths of their team, they be very aggressive and are invading now and making it uncomfortable for Gen.G.
Yeah, Rock, as you see there, and as well as the rest of Gen.G getting chunked under tower there. 3 of them super low, forced to retreat and go back. And when you go ahead and go back in this game, you're not on the map, you're not pressuring, right? You're not doing jungle, you're not farming. You want to eliminate recalls as much as possible when you're playing optimally.
Yeah, for sure. And you want to just stay on the map. Because, again, you look at this. The bottom T1 is getting knocked down for free. On will take this one up. And Gen.G, all they can do is really watch at this point. But this is a style that they like. Gen.G, it's a 4 protect 1. They're trying to funnel as much farm onto Rock. Ensures that he gets all the buffs as well.
Definitely very interesting strategy here. I'm excited to see how it's going to go ahead and play out. If only they didn't have the small little mishap early game here, Rock would be in a lot more favorable position to go ahead and carry with that such strategy. Now he's kind of on the back foot playing catch up to Luna.
Oh, they've got the control. They do have the lockdown, and the Destined Encounter are going to be used on top of this. But the Flaming Palm, oh, he goes past it, but no, he does die in the end. Clue finally gets the pick off, and that's going to be a nice start for them. Now, OG being aggressive, even down a member, and it looks like even when they've been zoned away, On will continue to push this bottom T2.
Dao is just so threatening in the jungle of Gen.G here. Always prepping his all attacks. Wow, nice stun.
Oh, nice little stun. They got him locked in. That was a nice ambush by Inua. They get 1 kill thus far, and they're going to continue to chase in. Dao on the run. They have the knockup, but Rock changes targets, tries to go on to On instead. It looks like he does get it, but he does trade his life, and the Infinite Vastness is going to be used aggressively, and through it all, they get 2 for 1.
There we go. That's the momentum Gen.G needs, interrupting their early game of OG here. This strategy seems to be working the best so far.
Oh, KK, oh, turns it around. He got controlled. He takes it through, and he gets a double. Oh, KK making moves.
We were mentioning in the games prior, Keke kind of took a back foot, you know? He's known to be one of the carriers of OG. It looks like this is his game to shine. Everyone gets their game. Game 1 was Dao. Game 2 was On. This could be Keke's game.
Okay, well, as a KME's caster, I'm going to have to say this is a Rock game or a Ray game, okay? I think that they're still in this. They're only down about 2,000 at this point. That was a nice attempt. I mean, that last, giving up that double to KK, probably not a great situation for them. They had a chance at this one. I mean, there was a nice little control. They were setting it up, but look at how KK turns it around. It says, no, I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
If we refer to the Bible of Rafa here, OG being up 2k gold is actually 10k now here, and that is an insurmountable lead. As you see them up almost 3k. Oh, they're up 3k now. Here we go.
All right, that's not a real thing for the record, okay? There's no multiplier because it's OG. I mean, it feels like that. It's definitely impressive. And they find him out kicking with the truth, setting it up yet again.
Out of nowhere, you see they played him with the camera, a little bit of vision there. Inuwa had no clue Keke was gonna jump out of nowhere, and Truth monster him into the wall under a tower too.
Yeah, I mean under, and look, OG, when they have that lead, and this is when they just go full control. That the map is gonna be much smaller for Rock. He's gonna have less time to farm, and yes, he is the win condition. He was keeping it on pace with Dao, but everyone else from OG are just so much further ahead that it's difficult for Gen.G to get any sort of space on this map.
Blue team has destroyed
Yeah, this is going to be really tough here. Just in a matter of minutes here, OG building a very impressive lead. A second ago, we were mentioning they're up 3,000. They're coming up to 4,000 here. Every minute, their lead grows as they go ahead and set up an ambush in the blue side jungle of Gen.G here.
Yeah, looking to take the Azure for free. OG understanding just like the timings of everything. Yes, Wawa was like split pushing in the top lane. That will be largely mitigated by KK. Oh, they're looking to go in. They find On. Instantly blown up. Wawa shows up, and it looks like this is what they wanted to do. They want to go instantly in, delete a hero, get that numbers advantage.
Yeah, Gen.G needs to play their
they find him
here.
They get the control. They have him locked down. Dao is he able to get away? He is. Oh, he just barely survives, but Inua is going to be killed. The infinite fastest is now going to be used, and they've turned this around. They've got a double kill. Keke is showing up at the perfect time, and now they found Ray and a triple going the way of Keke.
It is definitely Keke's game, highlight after highlight here, and Dao there managing to barely escape on a thread here, resetting his dashes, dashing 3-4 times, going all the way from the Azure Golem to the middle lane here. That must be frustrating for side of Gen.G to let him leave on a sliver like that.
That was actually, I mean, they went all in on that one. If they get the kill onto Dao, they have a little bit of a chance. But Keke's like, I got you, brother. I'm going to set this one up. Gets the triple, turns that around, and look at it. This is going to be the first Shadow Tyrant going the way of OG. Oh, Rock, oh, he gets the steal! Oh, Rock gets his way, and he moves on out. Rock trying to get his team back into this one.
That's exactly what Gen.G needs. A nice little steal. Hanjo, one of the safest characters for these steals here. Battlefield Command coming out.
Yeah, they're going to look to go for this one, but Rock just too far. They do have the control, but now Dao, that's all the control you have, and now Dao is on the rampage. He goes to the back line, goes for Inua. They get Clue, and he wants Ray, but he has to go into Dragon form. He's going to get on out of this, but OG, with all 5 members looking to close this series out.
That might be all she wrote. We see Keke coming in here, looking to end out the game. We see Wawa get dove here. He's really tanky, but when you're 5v1, you can only survive so long. Ray goes down in base, and that is game 3, 3-0 for OG.
OG just like on another level. Super scary lineup. Congratulations, they made their spot into the KWC. They will have a chance at redemption going up against Twisted Minds, potentially going in for that one. And Gen.G obviously heartbroken. Tough situation for them, losing out not only to Nongshim yesterday, but now getting 3-0'd here against OG. They had their opportunities, but OG was just too strong today.
They just strike too fast and too hard here. You know, once they get that momentum, they go ahead and steamroll Gen.G. They never end up finding their footing. We see some fights in the mid game there where they caught him out with the Li Bang Hanshin combo, you know, being able to, at a moment's notice, dash in from so far away and engage. But the itemization from Dao that we mentioned was actually really smart, you know. He knows he's going to get grabbed up by the Liang. You can't really stop that as Luna, right? So going the Giant's Grip and being more defensive there allowed him to survive getting grabbed in the Azure Golem side in a 3v1, barely getting away with 1 HP, and then that opened up the possibility for YikeZ to come in and clean up while all the abilities were exhausted on the side of Gen.G.
Yeah, I mean, if they get that kill, like the net worth shifts quite a bit. Maybe it goes in favor of Rock. I mean, you can kind of, you know, snowball from there, but they never really got going. They never really had an opportunity. OG YikeZ really set it up, right? I mean, like the moment things are kind of getting close, he was just hitting these multi-man truth, controlling what Gen.G was throwing at them, getting those doubles and triple kills. That guy, YikeZ, has got to be the MVP of this one.
For sure, yeah. Dao just provides so much pressure, and every game, you know, the pay game, right? We mentioned that he provides so much pressure, which allowed Wen to play the game for free, kind of, right? And this game, he exhausted all the abilities on the side of Gen.G, letting YikeZ come in and just pick off the enemies here, knowing they have nothing left here. And for sure, even though Dao did a great job, I agree with you, YikeZ is probably going to be MVP here for Game 3.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, they're just like spreading the, you know, spreading the wealth around. Everyone's getting an opportunity into this MVP action here. But look, OG at the end of the day showed up. You know, it sucks for me because I was like, okay, all about KME in this one. But man, OG was like a freight train. There was no stopping them in this case. And again, look at YikeZ 7-0-4. The man was next level.
He needed to pop off one of these games. We mentioned, you know, game 1 and 2, he was kind of taking a back foot, you know. He's like, game 3, I need to show up, all right? You got your MVP. Dao, you got your MVP. It is my turn now. 7-0-4 here, cleaning up all these fights, setting up double, triple kills, and cleaning up Gen.G here in this match.
Yeah, no answers for that. I mean, look, they were like, they went with the Princess Frost Leon combination. There were a couple of good ganks that they got off on this one, and what potential was there, but they were never really able to kind of just show up. There was just way too much control, too much utility from OG. I mean, YikeZ's Truth, you have the, you know, Wen on in terms of those boards, just really just shaking things up. So it was very uncomfortable for Gen.G to kind of get anything going. And look at this gold graph. Completely in favor of OG. Everything from the first minute. Yes, there was a little bit of dip of blue, but no real chance for them to get back into this.
Yeah, the Princess Frost Liang combo, I would actually consider more of a low damage combo, you know? So if you're behind as a team, you're going to find out that a lot of times Princess Frost doesn't have enough damage to go ahead and cut through these characters, especially, you know, Dao itemizing more defensively. But here we go. YikeZ MVP 7-0-4. 16% damage taken, 18% damage. His numbers and stats don't look too nice, but what we don't see on here are all the amazing truth mantras he hit in the game.
Yeah, and we'll probably see them here, but this is kind of the start of the end. Dao did dashing in and out, getting that double, and really just kind of got him going. That momentum, that point was on point. But here's the control. They had a nice little return, and Gen.G had opportunities, but Dao is like this slippery, elusive guy that always got away, and it was so frustrating for Gen.G.
Yeah, that just shows that combo, while it has great control and CC, it doesn't quite have enough firepower sometimes if you're behind. And we see Gen.G's behind most of the game there. They were able to get these lockdowns on priority targets, but they just didn't have the juice to go ahead and finish them off.
And that was the moment. This is the side with Dao just barely getting away, and then here comes the truth. YikeZ on cleanup. He just takes them all down. No real chance. And when you're down members like this and Ray going the wrong way, it's just a matter of time for YikeZ to clean you up. Again, Gen.G just playing OG playing next level, understanding who needs to die. Dao got control on this one, turns it around, fights on the back line 1 versus 3, and that was pretty much all she wrote.
Look at the levels here. Dao level 15 on Luna, hitting into everyone as level 11 on the side of Gen.G, you know? So as I mentioned, he's able to itemize more defensively and still do that damage because he's just so high level.
Yeah, I mean, look, he was level 15. Rock was level 15 as well, but everyone else was nowhere near that. They were like 3 or 4 levels behind. So it's a very tough situation to try to fight or even tank Dao when he jumps on top of you because you're just so far behind. It's a difficult situation. Everyone needs to be there to ensure that when Dao does go in, you potentially can pick him off, but it takes 5 members to do so.
For sure, yeah, and they couldn't even get him there at the end, you know. The game was not going in the way of Gen.G, you know, but sometimes you're like, okay, at least we can take out Dao, and he didn't even give them that there at the end there. Gets away with 1 HP, they go ahead and reset, 5-man push in the base here. Really kind of like, scripted almost how perfectly these games went for OG, you know. They split up all the MVPs, as you mentioned here. Everyone kind of got their match to show off, and they go ahead and secure their spot at the KWC.
Yeah, and here, of course, are the winners. KK Dao, Wen, An, and Mu Chen. Congratulations. Well-deserved. Yes, they lost in the grand finals, but they bounced back here in the last call, really showed up, and just proving that this is a team that is next level. They are going to make some waves in the KWC, and they are going to be super scary.
For sure, yeah, definitely deserving of that spot there. I think their record's like 15-1 now, so if they didn't get in, it would definitely be a bit of an upset here, for sure.
Yeah, for sure on that one, and congratulations to them. And they're going to be moving on. Twisted Minds, they move on from the KMW, as well as Nongshim Red Force from the KME. Congratulations to those 3 teams. That will be the end of it for us from the KME as well as the KM West. Bill, any final words before we close out tonight?
Yeah, thank you for everyone that's watching and supporting here, and to the players for their amazing performances here. Holler and all the other casters for their amazing performance as well here. Thank you guys for all watching the broadcast and production and making it all possible. I'm excited to see what the players go ahead and do next in the KWC as well as all the other leagues. It's an honor for you guys to have me here. Thank you guys very much, and that's going to be it for us here tonight.
sound of the rain. No matter how I feed the flame, you know I feel the darkness and the pain. All of the ways we tried to break Now I see that I got everything I need. It's alright, I'm on fire, I'm alive, 'cause now I fly so high, so high. Light up the skyline, let's do it this time, like it's a whole new colorful world. Like we're the only ones in this world. Like we're the only ones in this world. Never thought we'd get this far, burning like the stars.